Hello and welcome to another episode of FECAVA Vet Chat. My interviewee tonight will be Luba Gancheva, a veterinary surgeon from Bulgaria who is now working in Romania, who established an online veterinary journal, which is read by a lot of our colleagues in especially Eastern and Southeastern Europe, Vets on the Balkan. The email address for this journal is www.balkanvets.com. Luba is working in Romania, and alongside her clinical work, she is managing to run this journal, which is available for vets not only on the Balkan, but all over Europe and around the world, which was also the reason why Luba received in 2017 the WSAVA Next Generation Award. She also is an honorary member of the Romanian Veterinary Dentistry Association, and her services have been recognized all over the South and Southeastern Europe. So welcome to FECAVA Vet Chat, Luba Gancheva. Hello.
Hello, nice to see you.
Hi, good evening, Luba. How are you doing? Okay?
Yes, I'm doing well.
So I heard you were just recovering from your latest shift, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
I'm so amazed. I mean, by your ability. I mean, you are very active practicing veterinary surgeon. Then
Yes.
alongside this, you're the main person behind Vets on the Balkan. So you run this fantastic online journal. And then also, I mean, you have a daughter, you have
Yes.
to look after family. So this is
Yes, it's I feel this, but in fact, the idea of the journal, it's that it's looked like it's me, but it's not me. It's the vets. They do it. I'm just the technical part. This is,
So tell me first, Luba, a little bit about your background. So you originate from Bulgaria,
Yes.
and you studied in Sofia at the forestry university in
Forest
Sofia.
University, yes.
Then initially you worked in Bulgaria, and then you moved to Romania. Is that correct?
Yes. So always starting when after I graduate the veterinary school, I do a master scientific class in another university in Bulgaria about the infection disease. So at that moment, I was invited by Romanian Small Animal Association to present my work about this. It's about Brucella canis. And then I start connections with some Romanian vets. So I decided to do my PhD in Romania. So that was the idea, me to move from Bulgaria to Romania. I think it's supposed to happen like this because it was too easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
For people like me who come from a completely different part of Europe, how difficult is that? Because I mean, Romanian language and Bulgarian language,
It's totally
completely
different.
different.
Completely different. Yes.
You don't even have the same letters. I mean, one country has
Yes.
Cyrillic letters, the
No.
other one
I
Roman.
start with English, of course. First 3 years, I work in English and I live in English. So, and I was surprised by even the owners I didn't have any problem to do this without to know the Romanian language. So in time, I learned it. And so by now I speak most of the time in Romania.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's also difficult. I mean, I worked last year a couple of times in Sweden, And I had to then read my way through Swedish journals, and
Yes.
uh, I could write my notes in English, but I had to read first the clinical history in Swedish, and that. Yes, it's a combination. Yes, it slows you down. I found it's certainly it drains you more. You are more tired.
Yeah. Yes, you are
I
correct.
also found because you have to work in a different language, it you concentrate more on that.
More, yes, of course. I feel it completely decent. So was something like this even when I start to understand Romanian. So I understand what they're talking. Oh, it's happening here in Bulgarian. So and I answer in English. So it's three languages. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
that was
exactly.
yes. It's a really tiring thing, but
Mm.
in
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you are used to. So now I speak very well Romanian, so it's not that complicated. I don't feel it as that much as a foreign language. Even for me now, it's more complicated speaking English because I don't use it that much because I use more now Romanian language. So
Yes,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah. So how,
yes,
how how is that with you and your daughter? You speak then Bulgarian to with your daughter,
yes.
or yeah?
Yes, so she, when I moved in Romania first years, I was traveling because she stayed with my parents. Still, I was sure that I want to stay here. Anyway, Bucharest is 350 kilometers from my city, so it's
Mm.
not that much, but it's something. When I she came, she didn't know any Romanian, but now she's more Romanian than Bulgarian.
Yeah, I mean that's
After 5 years, no.
children, they pick
Yes.
that up so quickly. And I mean, what a gift, what a gift. And also, I mean, with Romanian, Romanian is not so far away, I think, from Italian and
Yes,
Spanish.
it's
There
not
are
that far. It's
similar roots. So yes, yeah.
she learned
I mean,
as well French and English at school, so it's four language.
yes, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, if we have sort of British listeners or Irish listeners, sort of, it's of they sort of, yeah, I don't know, sort of, shake their heads in shame, sort of. But I know, on the other hand, it's so difficult. If your native language is English, then it's easier said than done, sort of learning a foreign
Yes,
language, because there's so many people who frustrate you. I mean, if you start hacking your way along as you do in the
yes.
beginning when you learn a new language, then they say, "Oh, wait a moment, you speak English? Oh, let's speak English." And
They
since
speak English.
want to speak French, wanted to speak Italian or something like that. Mm.
Yes.
So then you went to Romania. Now in Romania, you're working for in one clinic mainly, or in a range of
Yes,
clinics?
I work in one clinic mainly, so I change some clinics till I find the 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 place that I like. I feel good, so it's because in our region it's not, it's different, so it's we still have what to learn as a management, what to how to rise, how to work with the employers, how the employers to work with the managers. So we need some education still.
And your areas of main interest continue to be infectious diseases?
Infection disease, the internal medicine, and as well stomatology. It's from 2 years. My I like it, you know. This is
Mhm.
I still can't say that I'm good, but I'm learning.
Well, it's lifelong learning. I'm still finding
Yeah.
everyday stuff where I think, yes, didn't know that, or oh, should have done that for the last 20 years or
Yes,
something like that. So,
yes, yes.
and then along came vets on the Balkan. Tell me that. That was 2015. So 5 years ago when
2015.
this
No, the
started.
idea start earlier. So when I was a speaker first time on AMBAC, on the Romanian Small Animal Association Congress. So I realized, because I was the only one Bulgarian there, so, and I realized that we have a great community, veterinary community on the region, and we don't communicate to each other that much, So I decided to create something that we can be informed. So why to be informed? What happened around us? Because we are from economically depressed area. It's clear. And it's, for example, me as a young vet, I want to learn dermatology, for example, so to improve my knowledge. It's very nice to know that in Romania, for example, as a resident, so I can go for 1 week in his clinic and to learn, and it's cheaper than to go to Austria or in France or in Germany. Or so I then coming the idea in me to find the possibilities for the young vets to find their road, because for us, one more time, in East Europe, it's more hard to have the possibility to grow in our professional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that was
And I
the
mean,
idea.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, and your online journal is extremely successful. I mean, I saw 10,000 visitors, 16,000 sessions, 150 cases, and growing. So
No, it's
that's
a
very
thank you.
impressive. Well,
Last year is 60,000 sessions, so it's
60, yeah.
60,000 sessions.
Woo, woo, woo. And
Yes, and
so,
it
I mean, how and when do you do this? I mean, you have a busy clinical days, and then you have to look after your family, and then you when do you put the hours into to run the journal? Do you do that at night or over the weekend
no,
or?
no, I don't like the nights. I like to sleep in the night. So first, when I start with the Facebook page, vets on the Balkans, start to inform the vets what happened in Serbia, what happened in Bulgaria, what happened in Romania, what happened in Slovenia, what happened in Turkey, this. After that, I make it with a friend the website, the technical part, which is very easy to 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 arrange and to do it. And because our region, again, it's, I think the people are with we are with more emotional, more, with hot blood. So when they realize that they have the opportunity to share their knowledge, first thing, to um, somebody is pay attention to their work, they're happy, so they send cases. And now I don't search anything, they do it alone. So people sending cases, associate, we speak with associations, so we arrange some games, people visit congresses, they're informed, and already everything is going by own. And I don't know how to say, it's an effort, of course,
A
but
lot of things go
I feel it with
automatically.
I do it with the heart, so I don't feel it as a job. I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
it as
yeah.
a
Well, but
pleasure.
it's also, I mean, it builds such a great community, and I mean that is especially as it goes over the borders. I mean that is also what
Yes,
we in FECAVA are so passionate about. That we always sort of say, well, veterinary medicine is not a French science. It's not a German science or just an English spoken
yes,
science or profession. Sort of, it's happening everywhere, and we have all similar problems, and we have often different solutions to
yes,
the same problem. So we can all learn from each other.
Lord.
And
Exactly, this is the idea.
yeah, and I mean the work that has been done on the Balkans, especially sort of over the last 20 years, is, I mean,
Yes,
mind blowing. I mean, whoever sort of visited once sort of the Eastern European Regional Veterinary Conference, for
yes,
example, it sees how high the level of knowledge is. Also, the approaches are sometimes quite different from the maybe sort of mainstream Anglo-American approach, so that different techniques, maybe also different openness about the usefulness of some techniques is discussed maybe more freely. There's sometimes a different take. So I, as a veterinary surgeon, mainly working in the English-speaking sort of world, I find it very, very refreshing.
Yes,
So,
yes, it's. I think it's working that good because of the passion of the vets in our region. Their passion make this thing alive. You know, this they have. I don't know how to explain these things, but the passion that I see in our region, I didn't meet another professions with that kind of willing to know, to do. Let's do it. We can do it. Let's try. A lot of efforts and a lot of passion and pleasure. You see, they work with pleasure.
and I mean, sort of, it's not just restricted to the Balkan. I mean, you are the media partner of the World Small Animal Veterinary Association, of SAVAP, the Belgian Small Animal
Yes,
Veterinary Association, of SHIVAC, the largest
yes,
Italian Small Animal Veterinary
yes,
Association, and numerous other organizations, often international
yes,
organizations. So, I mean, that is, it just shows how wide the reach sort of is and how much recognition there is.
yes. It's so glad and that happened, and I'm so glad that I meet all the association and they're very open because of they're willing to be part of it. Our vet has the possibility to visit their conferences because again, it's a lot of vets, vets from our region who can't afford it. They can't. They want and they
Yeah,
can't.
yeah, 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 yeah. I also saw on the website you have one initiative which is Learn and Travel. What's the background of that? How does that work?
Learn and travel, it's what I did exactly for the young vets. What I wanted to have when I was when I
Hmm.
start. In
Yeah.
fact, I was the lucky one to meet Denis Novak first because he's the person who create first connection on the Balkans. He's the person. So I visit the Serbian congresses and so on, and I wanted to give to the young vets the possibility to learn directly from the practice because this is the best knowledge ever. To go there to meet and to see what they're doing and okay, I can do this and do it in my practice.
Hmm.
So I connect some clinics on the region and not only in the region uh, who are open to, in Italy, in Belgium, who are open to receive vets from our region. So I sent the vets connect with vets on the Balkans, say, I want to learn cardiology. And they say, okay, you can go in Italy. I speak with them, they receive him, and that's all. That's it.
When these
I
do you somehow support that financially, or is that something the fund?
financially I spoke with the companies who support vets on the Balkans,
Yeah,
so they pay their roads,
yeah,
their
that travel.
tickets, and
Yeah,
if they need this, but it's donations as well. So
yeah,
it's
that
between
goes.
them. I'm just connect them.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that's I think somewhat similar to the FECAVA Labo Clean
Yes.
veterinary travel scholarships that
Yes.
we are also running every year, where a
Yes.
group of veterinarians, okay, for you it's individual cases, but we do that with groups of vets who
Groups.
can travel from one country in Europe to another country, and visit colleagues there, and then there's a return visit, so that is
Yes.
reciprocal. And this is supported by our sponsor Laboclean with 2,000 euros per
Yes.
exchange. So
Exchange.
that's obviously, that covers usually travel expenses and then also accommodation.
Yes, I don't have exactly the money. So most of the time, for example, a vet from Romania wants to learn orthopedy, and I say, okay, you can go in Bulgarian Central Vet Clinic. So the company who is sponsor from Romania, I spoke with them. Okay, arrange between you and the company. They arrange it, and the company pay their um, trips and the traveling or something that they need. So
That's
I just
amazing.
make the negotiation.
Yes, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. But that's also, I mean, the beauty with that. It
So
shows that we as a veterinary profession, we are one big family. I mean, we're a small profession, but we are part of, we are all a big family, and that's the beauty of it. And it's also so nice to see that these things can be done in Europe. This is Europe that is not sort of organized by an organization in Brussels or so. This is individual initiatives of a profession, and but it helps the understanding of different nations, and we see our colleagues and our neighbors sort of in a completely different light, especially if we had the opportunity to visit, to work, and to live with our colleagues and with our fellow human beings.
Exactly what is happening on the learn and travel. It's the idea, it's that they become the beauty. It's that you see how they become friends, you know, how they're very close. They continue to communicate after that and to work with each other. And it's so, you know, because after that they send me the story of and it's so, when I don't know, it's full of love, you know, and so you can't, you know, it's not a job for me, you know, and this is not a job.
Yes, no, and I mean, I'm sure that it will inspire also other vets again to do similar things. So if they read this and say, well, I met this really good vet, sort of, or interesting person at that conference, so let's give them a call, and maybe there's a possibility that I can visit. Or I mean, if you have helpful colleagues like, say, Anna Nimic, for example. I mean, she's always trying to help young colleagues who are interested in the veterinary dentistry, and they are very happy if they have an opportunity to open their doors and to pass on their knowledge. So, I mean, it's not that difficult. It's not just vet school and then learning only vet school and then conferences, and you're sitting in a lecturing theater, and that is a CPD. No. Contact your colleagues, and you might be surprised, and you might actually make friends for life. So yes, I think it's a beautiful thing. The journal, so balkanvets.com. There are no subscription fees also. Everybody can read.
It's free.
Everybody can, even better. Perfect. So when we record this is now the beginning of 2021. COVID-19. You are now sitting in Romania. How big has the impact? What's your impression, sort of being on our colleagues on the Balkan? Has there been huge negative impact, possibly here or there positive impact? So what's your take on that?
So I think, of course, it's negative impact. This is for every human being on the planet, I think. I think it's more, till now, it's more psychological than financial. You know, so all the colleagues said that till now they don't feel some financial problems about what's happening.
So finances have not been too affected.
No, not being they don't feel changes, and so the work is work, as well as me as a clinician. I see that the people are coming, so everything it's going
Are
on.
you
Okay, you
allowing?
have some restrictions about everybody to be with, one by one, not all the time on the clinic, but
Yeah.
you have the job the same. I know. I don't think the financial part. I think we will feel it
Yeah.
in the future, not now. Psychological, of course, it's everybody's reacting in a different way. I think I was affected as well about the. But I don't know, I try to see always the positive part, and I think it's has something very positive in the pandemic situation, that it's time to see in ourselves, to see inside what happened, not
But
only outside. This is
when I say sort of has there be any beneficial, any positive effect? How about pet ownership? I mean, we noticed in the UK,
Mhm.
to give you an example, that ownership of dog ownership seems to have gone up. More people recognize that,
Yes, it's the
especially in
same.
these
It's the
difficult
same here.
times.
Even I'm one of them. I adopted one dog.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
I
really, I
mean,
had
you,
a cat. I have a cat, and I adopted a dog
yeah,
because I feel it. I just feel that now is the time, without thinking it's a pandemic. No, I can go outside, so I can do the things. So it's not the restrictions. I just feel it. Why? Because I think it's we try to focus on other things as well, not only in outside of us, the job, and we were pushed to go inside,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So it has a
yeah.
positive part. It's a hard one, but
Yeah. Another thing that we noticed, sort of, which is possibly not so bad, is that we were far more now inclined to take online services on board, say webinars, online learning, online meetings, and even now, for example, online consultations. Is there something like that also done in the Balkans, that some consultations are conducted now
they
online?
try, but people are not that the society is not prepared that much. So it's happening, but not that popular. I don't know. They're
Mm.
used to come in the clinic with animal. Anyway, it's for the owners in our region. I think it's cheaper. So when they come and they pay for a standard consultation around in euro, it's 20 euros. So
Mm.
you can
Mm.
handle it.
Yeah.
This is
Mm. Mm.
so it's and the standard consultation is not 15 minutes. It's 1 hour, and it's the same price. So yeah,
Mm.
so I think this is our mentality on the Balkans general as a society, not the veterinary medicine in general. It's not still not that prepared about
Yeah.
this. So it's doing it, but it's not that much how I expect for me to be it. But no, they come in the clinic.
Yeah. So, Luba, tell me, sort of away from veterinary medicine, once you have left all your cases behind, vets on the Balkan behind, how do you relax? What are your hobbies? Sort of
Yes,
Luba the person.
Luba the
How is that?
person. Yes, it's Luba the person. I love hiking, of course. This is my
Okay.
favorite. Unfortunately, I don't have that much time, but this is my favorite. I prefer mountains than the
So
beach.
then you have to come and visit me in Bavaria. So we have lots of them. Unfortunately, at the moment, we can see them all, and they're or on the other side of the border, most of them in Austria. So we can't get there at the moment. But yep. So maybe sometimes in the future you could come.
Or after when it's finished this pandemic. Yes, this is what I love. I like doing yoga a lot. This is one of my favorite things: meditations, yoga, spiritual job, and yes, I do it a lot, and I like it.
I think it's so important to have something like that to balance the stress you sometimes have in the job, and you can't start with something like that, I think, early enough. So that's brilliant.
No, it's amazing. It's the meditation and everything. It's I don't know. Even when I was the pandemic, I asked Norin Chai too, because he's like it. He loved it.
Yeah.
And we did together with him online meditation for vets.
I didn't know that he does that as well.
No, we did. It's recorded on the page. You can see it. It's
right.
Norin Chai.
He is also on my list for an interview, so I have to get in touch with him. He's an amazing person, absolutely.
Yes, it's a spirit, he's a spirit. Yes.
Luba, it was so lovely talking to you. Thank you so much. And again, if anybody is interested in vets on the Balkan, then it's straightforward, balkanvets.com. And as you heard, there's no subscription to it, and a lot of free information and also contacts. In the same way, the FECAVA Vet Chat is available both as a video and now also as a podcast. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so by emailing us on vetchat@fecava.org, or you can contact us via, for example, Facebook on the FECAVA Facebook site. Thank you very much, Luba. And I hope to see you all again for another FECAVA Vet Chat next week. Bye-bye.